How's it going, everybody? GN here for Get Zone Media Lodge and Funker Tactical, continuing on with our series talking to some industry influencers, some instructors. Today I'm here with Tatiana Whitlock. Who are you?
Who am I?
Who are
oh
you?
Man, well, we do a lot of things, as most of us in this industry do. I'm a firearms trainer. I work with largely women's groups, but pretty much families, couples, anybody interested in personal protection and home defense. Not tactical stuff, but actual real world, how do I take this home and use it when I get home in my house type of skill set building. I also am a principal at Gap Marketing, an industry specific firearms marketing company. And I do a lot of design work for G-Code.
Okay, let's pick one of those things. Let's pick you.
I know, right?
Let's pick you as and those things really they're symbiotic, and
Yes.
one works with the other. So I think doing one and the other makes you really, really good at all those things. So let's look at you being an instructor first and foremost. Why is it important for families to get training together?
Oftentimes it's the husband that will go and be, tactical wonder super gun camp on the weekends and come home and be like, I got this, but then they leave. And their wife may or may not be on board with having guns in the house, but the guns are there for protection of the family. So, or you have it the other way around. The wife's into it and the husband's like, I don't know, but I'm not really sure I want to admit that I don't know. So you get a lot of personalities and dynamics going on play. Ultimately, even in an active shooter environment when you're not in the home, you may be separated. So if you're the sole protector within your partnership, the reality is you might not be there for your spouse or your kid when things go bad. So as a family unit, having a cohesive story, a cohesive skill set is really vital.
So do you have women's only courses?
Yes.
Why?
Okay. Women's only courses kind of kill me a little bit inside, all right?
Okay.
Because as you know, that there's really no difference between a guy on the line with a gun and a girl on the line with a gun. We're all the same. Firearms are gender neutral. Skill sets are gender neutral. But what normally happens is, if I succeed, your women's only class, the first one you ever take, will be the only one you ever take. And the point of that is that I've given you the confidence, I've given you the tangible skills, not just this pseudo false sense of security with a gun in your hands, but actual confidence and actual functional skill sets to go and walk on any line, be humbled enough to the instructor who's presenting the material, and participate.
Because that does exist, right? Like let's be real. Like, if I'm a woman first-time shooter, there must be some anxiety in just jumping into what appears to be this like raw, bam, 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 right? So I suppose what you're trying to do is helping them get over that and getting them to what it really is. So what is it really?
Overcoming all of the stigma. I mean, there's a ton of stigma, and it's mostly self-induced and inflicted by us, all the women in the industry. We expect that we're going to get on a line and be barked at and yelled at and made to feel small and embarrassed at what we don't know and made to feel like we're unsafe. When the reality is a good instructor knows that I don't care who you are, I'm going to talk to you as a student, and we're going to build you up from there. My job is to make you successful and make you safer. And once you've achieved that, you own those skills, you can take the next step. But yeah, you're expecting that it's going to be some good old boy in an old hunting vest, calling you sweetheart and honey all the time. And it's, honestly, those folks do still exist, but they're the minority. They're not the norm anymore.
Good. Well, I believe in a duality and a balance. So if there are positive, inspirational forces in this industry like yourself, there's got to be some negative. So in what ways are women sort of creating a disservice to themselves? Let's be honest. Let's be real.
It's huge. And I'll be totally honest with you. In the firearms industry, as it is with any profession, when you take your femininity and add sexuality to it, you no longer have credibility. So
Whoa, one more time. Let's say that again. That's really profound.
It's true.
When you take femininity
and try and sell who you are by adding sexuality to it,
then
you're
you
gone.
lose credibility.
You're gone.
But you get lots of Instagram followers and views and all that stuff.
And you're a flash in the pan. No one will ever remember you. And if you came into this to do some good, promote, help, and raise women up, who are the fastest growing segment of the firearms industry,
Right.
you fail. And you do us all a great disservice. Because let's face it, I'm not trying to reach to the 40-something-year-old still living in their mother's basement. Right? That's not my goal. My goal is to make families safer, make people safer. And I can't really do that if I'm gone next week. because there's some other flash in the pan gun bunny doing that job.
Right.
So you can maintain your femininity. You can be a strong female in the industry without playing the sexy card.
So let's talk a little bit about marketing now.
Sure.
Things are shifting, I feel, in this industry.
Yes.
Right? We're getting into this age of authenticity, I believe. Right? Tell me about that and why that's a good thing.
We are long overdue to make that happen, and I'm seeing it happen. The average consumer wants to relate to the person they're seeing on TV. You know, having NASCAR branded jerseys doesn't reach the general population anymore. We can't relate to that. You've reached a level of celebrity that's no longer tangible or relatable. So, especially from the women's side of the house, I need to say, I like you and I relate to you. And then I will understand and I will have a desire to take that next step.
Absolutely. So given, I hear this a lot, that women, it's the fastest growing section of this industry. I kind of feel like that's not really true. I feel like that's always existed. It's just this, this empowerment. I hesitate to use that word, but what is it that now everyone's kind of realizing that, hey, we should talk to them in a real way, in an authentic way?
Yes, yes. Women are willing to shop. We're willing to spend money. We're willing to invest in ourselves. We're going to go have our nails done. We're going to send our gun to the gun spa and get it dropped in a sonic tank. We're happy to do that stuff. And we're also a lot more willing to admit what we don't know. So we're willing to go take that class. We're willing to join a group or a community. And you're starting to see those communities emerge. A Girl and a Gun is a great example. The Well-Armed Woman is a great example of these birds of a feather come together kind of experiences.
Right.
Many people start there and then they splinter out looking for more information. And again, it's women's only groups are kind of a gateway drug to the bigger picture. So they're necessary, and there are a couple that are doing it really well.
Okay, speaking of gateway drug, what symptoms do you look for when you first walk into this room and these women are there? What do you look for, and how do you want them to walk out of that class? Because ideally, this is the only one they take. Mm-hmm. So what do you look for, number one, and how do you overcome those obstacles that may be found?
Sure. If someone's coming to one of my classes, they're coming to my class with the premise of this is for self-defense or personal protection, but they're gun-centric. They're all focused on the object that is the firearm, and it is paralyzing. And it will shut them down, and there's all this fear and anticipation and hesitation they're facing with the object. But they bought it. They have the carry permit, but they don't know what to do with this thing. And it's intimidating to the point of not carrying it.
It's intimidating to the point of not carrying it. Even though they know they have to, or they should, they don't.
And they have the will to use it, but they haven't bridged the gap of getting there. And you can use the word mindset. Mindset's another word like empowerment that kind of grates on the back of your brain. It's used and overused incorrectly all the time. My job is to take a look at that room, see who's actually there for the right things. You know, who's here for zombie apocalypse? The hand goes up. I'm like, okay, I got you. Different storyline coming your way. But if I can engage you and get you to the point where the thing that you're willing to use this firearm for is 10 times scarier than the object itself, suddenly manipulating that piece of equipment isn't a problem. So I'm looking for all of the things that are going to require me to break them down to get you there. Reignite that will, that desire, that drive, the power you already have to solve the real problem, which is the person breaking into your home to hurt you and your family.
What's been your proudest moment as an instructor?
The proudest moment is taking that person who cries the first time they hear a gunshot, just from legitimate PTSD experiences, either from combat or domestic violence or fill in the blank, to coming out of a holster and engaging a target with beautiful hits by the end of the second day. That is a major accomplishment. And that is really gratifying because you have overcome some serious hurdles, not just the firearms training stuff, but you've gotten to that person to overcome and face some significant fears. And they faced them, they conquered them, and now they've dominated them.
That's really, really powerful.
Yes, it is.
You've changed somebody's life trajectory. It doesn't stay there, you know. It's not that one moment. I'm kind of getting a little emotional about it because it is very powerful.
Yep.
Let's speak to everybody out there.
Sure.
Speak to the women that need to hear what you have to say, please.
Sure. Hi. There are tons more women out there just like you, whether you know it yet or not. If you're new to this, you probably think you're the first person having walked down this path. But there are thousands and thousands and thousands of us. Think about all the women that are in the world. Think about all of the women that live in third world countries that don't have rights over their person, property, their ability to vote. They don't have rights over their children. Now think about the women who are able to vote. Then think about all of the women who are able to vote and live in a country where they're allowed to possess a firearm. We're a very small population, globally, and we live right here. So our ability to have all of those basic human rights and own and operate a firearm is pretty unique in this country. Think about all the women that are in this country. There's an incredible community that's here. And we have the knowledge, and we have the power, and we have the rights to explore those skills. When you think about it in a global sense, it's a pretty big picture, and it's a pretty big honor to be a part of it.
Very, very powerful, Tatiana. Thank you very much for taking this time to talk with us. Where can we learn more about you? Where can we find you?
Sure. I made it really hard. It's TatianaWhitlock.com. All my social media is my name. My website is my name. And I look forward to hearing from you.
Right on. Thank you very much.
Thank
One
you.
more time. Guys, my name is GN here with Tatiana Whitlock for Media Lodge, Get Zone, and Funker Tactical. Hope you guys got something from this interview. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.